let's jump into waiver ads real quick. We're going to do this similarly to how we did it last week. Wes and I each have a really pretty easy, clear top waiver ad that you need to. It's just reminding you, like, hey, if this guy's there, go get him. Going to give you that real quick, and then just give you a little bit of an under-the-radar ad, somebody that maybe isn't everyone's talking about, maybe isn't the main guy everyone's targeting that you could go ahead and go for. So, Wes, tell me what your clear waiver is real quick, and then let me know who the under-the-radar ad is.
The clear waiver wire is Keaton Mitchell. Just double check to see if he's available, because this guy is insanely talented. He is Devon Achane light. I love what's happening. And the running back position is pretty rough.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pitch something. We talked a little bit about it already in this episode, and I don't know if you're going to agree, but I want to just kind of feel this out with you a little bit. I think you should keep your eye on Rico Dowdle. With the way Tony Pollard is not performing, just keep your eye on him. If you've got a droppable player on your team and this late season push, we just mentioned that Tony Pollard could be benched, right? And Pollard, over the last 3 weeks, has averaged 7 points. He hasn't scored since week 1. He hasn't rushed for over 55 yards since week 3.
Yeah.
Like, Tony Pollard is not just not getting fantasy points. He's not doing well. He's not doing well as a running back. And that's hard to admit and hard to swallow, because we all had high expectations. He was a second-round pick. I'll admit it, Tony Pollard is on the border of being this season's biggest bust in fantasy. I mean, for things, outside of major injuries, this is a legitimate candidate. Look at Rico Dowdle, which had as many carries as Tony Pollard. He's averaging 4.5 yards a carry. Pollard has been averaging 3.9. I think Rico Dowdle has a chance to be the Tony Pollard to Tony Pollard's Ezekiel Elliott if things don't slow down. So I'm going to keep a tab on Rico Dowdle. I don't say you go put a waiver wire for him, but if you can pick him up Wednesday morning for free, I would consider it. So that's my pitch. Keep an eye on Rico Dowdle. We'll see what happens next few weeks if he's going to turn out to be a playoff surprise. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm in agreement with both of those guys, obviously Keaton Mitchell. And then Rico Dowdle, I think he's seeing the chances. He's getting his shot, it feels like. And I feel like I've seen him a little more over the last few weeks. And he's doing a lot with it. He's doing some good stuff with it. And for whatever reason, they cannot figure out what's going on with Tony Pollard. So I agree with you, Wes. He is on the verge of being this season's biggest bust in fantasy. So I'm with you. I agree. There you go.
Just see.
Yeah, my clear waiver ad here is Josh Dobbs. I mean, he's rostered in 59% of leagues on Sleeper. Feels criminally low still, given that he's a top 7 quarterback in fantasy, I believe. He's been awesome, and he's getting someone by the name of Justin Jefferson back soon. So better things to come somehow, some way. But my under-the-radar ad is going to be Ty Chandler, his potentially new split the backfield running back, and what I believe will be actually the lead running back in Week 11 against the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football. Monday night or Sunday night, one of the two, on primetime. He matched Alexander Madison for carries until Alexander Madison got hurt, and at the time of Madison getting hurt, Ty Chandler had 8 rushes for 40 yards and a touchdown, 5 yards a carry. He was doing really well. He had the Wildcat touchdown inside the 5-yard line, I believe. It was very close to the end zone there, but they put him in a position where it was like, hey, we're giving you the opportunity to score. Like this play is designed for you to get in the end zone. Let's get it. He's good. He passes the eye test. He's quick. He's got some juice. I think Ty Chandler is really interesting. He ended the game not as efficiently, but it was really because the Saints defense knew that they were just trying to run the ball a whole lot. I believe he ended with like 13 carries for 50 yards or something like that. It wasn't anything great, but I think interesting things are here for Ty Chandler, especially I'm actually rolling Ty Chandler out. I've already decided to roll Ty Chandler out this week with some bye weeks and some spots where I think we just saw even on limited time for James Cook, and we've seen all season what people can do on the ground against the Denver Broncos. I think Ty Chandler has an opportunity here. So should be interesting stuff there. But those are a couple of Minnesota Vikings there in my waiver wire this week.
So in our first season last year, we were going through some of the preseason heroes, players that we were talking about that we liked. In 2022, Ty Chandler had a really great preseason. And I've always remembered that because it was like, dang, Alexander Mattison and then Dalvin Cook. Like, when is Ty Chandler going to see that football field? Because I thought he was really good. And I wrote it down. I was like, that's someone to keep in mind. And it was like, no, he's never going to touch the field. Well, now if he gets his opportunity, he could be not just week 11's starter, but he could be splitting that backfield as a tandem legitimately. Like, I thought he was good last year in preseason. I was like, that guy is good. So I'm happy for him to have an opportunity to try to be someone for this team. Maybe it turns out in fantasy, we'll find out, but I do like this under the radar. Just keep a tab on these running backs, and hopefully it helps us out in the playoffs. I like it.
Definitely.